Gentlemen, today we're going to talk about financial literacy, none of which I had when I was back in the broke days where I was putting coke on the shelf, when I was at home broke, looking for ways to make money. Bro, all these things I had no privy to, I had no understanding to. But now, through not only self reflection, but a lot of just learning, falling, and going down, I learned how to get a little financial literacy into me. But before we start, YSL myself. That is the cologne of today or of choice of today. The book, of course, of the week is Misbehaving, but I have another book that I'll disclose to you later on in the video. So financial literacy is one of them things where you don't know too much about unless you come from that or unless your parents did a great job at teaching you that. But because I was sort of the black sheep of the family, played out word, but if you're that person who is breaking the borders and not taking the typical route of going to college and finding your 9 to 5 job and riding that out until you're old and decrepit, then you will be the black sheep. And so that means a lot of these things that you're about to go through, a lot of your family members haven't. And so you have nobody to kind of rebound and talk to, soundboard, all these things. Grateful to have people in my life, moms and pops who are high up in the levels of their job, so they have some understanding. But to the depths of whether it be credit, paying your employees first, saving money, putting in high yield investing account, and by no means am I going to give you any financial advice today, but I'm going to give you a little touch into what it is to be an entrepreneur and dealing with finances. So when you step into this financial realm of being an entrepreneur, you're really starting from ground zero. So imagine you go from wherever you are right now, whether it be a cashier at a grocery store, just a 9 to 5 employee, you could be making 6 figures and have no financial background. But the understanding is that you have no full understanding of what it is when you create your own schedule. You make 10 times the amount of money that you used to make. And maybe now you have employees working for you, or you have to pay people out. Invoices have to be paid. Insurance, how do you pay for that when you're over 26? All of these things matter. And so I want you to understand that the financial habits that you have right now cannot be the same ones that you lead into entrepreneurship with, because you are going to fall on your face. And the reason you're going to fall on your face is because you have no full understanding of what you need to do as an entrepreneur with the newfound money that you make, no matter how much it is. And if you, let's say, to make it easy, if you make $1,000 a month, right, as an entrepreneur, listen, there are people that do their entrepreneurship stuff full time, and then their 9 to 5 is their part time. I want you to understand that. That's a different understanding or a different level of understanding. But if you are putting your entrepreneur life first, but if you take $1,000, right, and you can't manage $1,000, what makes you think when you get $100,000 a month, you'll be able to manage it then? Especially then when other people are then living or living for the business and or are working for a check through your business that you don't know how to financially put money and maneuver and position it well. It's not going to look good. Not only will you not look good, but the people that are working for you aren't going to be too happy if you can't really pay them or put the food on the table. So the habits that you have to understand that you have to release those, shed those. And the quicker you shed them, the more money will come to you, because you're putting money in the right positions. And a lot of the financial advice that you get will help you put yourself in a better position for tomorrow. And I think the same thing trickles down into the entrepreneurship life, is that you have to put money in the things that will fuel more money, so assets, but also then give you the upper hand for tomorrow. And a lot of our habits aren't necessarily bad habits. They're just not the habits that you have to have or that you need to fuel your entrepreneurship lifestyle. Maybe your 9 to 5 habits work, but they don't work in your entrepreneurship life. Right. So I want you to understand that there are things that you understand about money right now that isn't necessarily bad, but it's not where you need them to be to then be successful in whatever realm of life that you're looking to get after. And so that brings up the second book that I want you to read, which is The Psychology of Money. And that book is phenomenal. Read it once, twice, 3 times. Read it once a month if you're having trouble understanding your own financial habits. So by reading that book, I've come to understand, and I've read this book well over 5 times. Reading that book gave me the understanding that my habits aren't bad, but where I sit in the position, I have to tweak my financial habits. Because imagine if I'm one human, right? And I have 5 people working for me. Does that mean I pay myself first? No. That means I pay them first and then I take the cut last. And that not only trickles down to, oh, it's just principle in business, but that also means like, yo, what if you have clients that don't pay on time? And you have to really be like perspicacious and understand how things work in business. If there's a client that pays late and your employees are waiting for their check because their mindset is working for you, so it's not an entrepreneurship mindset, it's a 9 to 5. It is I'm working for this job for them to give me money. It's a transactional exchange. If they're looking for money from you and one of your clients then pay late, probably pay yourself less. But if you take that off the top first, maybe the people that you need to give the money to and your clients are late, you don't have enough. And what you're doing is taking trips here or flying or going to expensive dinners here or buying new shoes or buying new clothes or buying new colognes. All of these things can't be bought before the people that work for you are paid. So you got to keep that in mind when you're going into business or into the entrepreneurship lifestyle. And even if you're just a one solo person, think about it this way. If you go buy an expensive dinner, but you need equipment, maybe a new computer, maybe a client pays late and you have to get certain things to prepare yourself for a big project that comes through the door and you don't have the funds. Maybe it's a rainy day. Maybe you have a client that drops off. Maybe all of these maybes and ifs you want to be prepared for. And so you have to take the financial understanding that you may have walked into the business world in and throw them in the garbage for 2 seconds to then pick up a book that'll give you perspective on why you have the habits you have and to tell you that it's not necessarily bad, but you have to refine them, especially when you're looking to build businesses that make $100,000 a month. It's a serious thing. It's $1.2 million a year that is passing through. But if you don't understand money, then you're not going to be able to juggle all of that. Because you're going to get to a point, and I promise you, if you're in a hard place right now, sit through it. Because a lot of it is teaching you how to understand money, understand yourself. Hard times create strong men. So you should sit through it and become strong. But understand that if you try to speed race through this thing, you're going to end up fucked up. It's going to fuck you up a bit. Listen, let me tell you something real. When I first started my entrepreneurship journey, I went into $40,000 of debt. 40. Right? Understanding that, okay, money's coming. And in my brain, when I first started my entrepreneurship lifestyle, I'm like, you know what? Money's going to come. I'm going to get the Lambo. I'm going to get the house. I'm going to get the girl. I'm going to get the dog. I'm going to get the child. I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this. And it'll all be paid for, blah, 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 because money is coming and I'm abundance and I'm getting. So all that abundance and self inner talk and blah, blah, all of that stuff that actually works has to then be coupled with standard principles and practices. Because if you jump into this thing where, oh, the money's going to come and I'm going to do whatever and it'll just come and it'll figure itself out. Bro, in my brain, I said, yep, I'm going to be a millionaire, which is true. But if you just start your journey and your money isn't coming in right now, but you taking these $10,000 trips, $5,000 trips, first class, this, that, the third, money adds up, bro. And you're not as popping as you think you are when the money's late from clients or clients drop off. You got to think about it. So regardless or not, whatever sector you're in when it comes to the entrepreneurship lifestyle, the entrepreneurship life, you have to know that the money habits that you have to be written down, understood, catered to, altered numerous times, and continuously built upon. Because when you flip yourself from your financial habits now to the financial habits that's needed to sustain you in business, you'll realize a big key thing. And it's that money is a tool. Money isn't something that just is going to come to you and then once you have a lot of it, it's good. No, you have to understand how to maneuver it, one, and two, where to put it to build you more time. Two, sometimes like last month, for example, I bought one of my employees a computer. The computer will then help although it's almost like I gave away the money to buy the new computer. It's not that it's necessarily given away, but it just bought me time because of what he can do with that computer will alleviate me of the time that I'm giving to something that he can do now for me. So use your money in ways that'll create time or create more assets or opportunity for you to get things done, to make more money, to put you in a position of better. So if you're in this position of low, understand that you can get out. You will get out. It's as long as you put in the work, and as long as you're willing to get out of your comfort zone and understand that the way that you view money may suck right now, and you need to change it, alter it, and become better at it. So that's what I have for you today. Take the time out to write these things down. Write where you're slipping. Write the hard things, the distracting things. Cut them out immediately, and then get on to positioning yourself for better, because there are rainy days that will come up, and it's just like a roller coaster. You'll go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But as soon as you understand how to use the ups to fuel the downs, you'll be better and coast instead of being on a roller coaster. I'll holla at you. Talk to your boy. I'll see y'all tomorrow.